Good evening, good evening. It's 7 p.m. and it's Wednesday. I'm Ali Shamsuddin, and this is Standing for the People. As I always say, this program is brought to you by the people. That is, people who decided again that we need a program on the air. And I'm encouraged to see that there's some others out here that's trying to bring truth to us. I'm elated about it, actually. There's some others out here. This is Standing for the People, and our goal is to bring facts to you, the citizens, that we can use to help make Jackson and Hinds County better. And not only that, to expand out to be the state. As I keep saying, we have a very unique situation here in the state of Mississippi. A very unique situation. The state of Mississippi has the distinction of having the largest percentage of African Americans in its population than any other state in the country. So now there's all this fervor about what Trump and his Supreme Court that he put in place the last time he was in office. Now he came in reinforcing what he had done, trying to do away with the Voters' Rights Bill, the Civil Rights Act. And, as things go, there's usually an out, even against those who are trying to do as much evil as they can. There's usually an out. And here we are in Mississippi. We have a situation where we are almost 40% of the population. We're almost 40% of the population, which means that it's going to become extremely hard for those who want to keep the old guard, the old system, that's what they call it, the old guard going the way they used to have it. As I say, white folks, the white community, those with, period. At that, when I think in this frame of mind, they've had a 200-year head start on us when it comes to politics. Because for our first experience here in America, we were slaves. We were not allowed to have any rights whatsoever in court or anywhere else. Just as a basic human being, we were not even considered to be human beings. So when it came to politics, they have a 200-year head start on us. So now we got to use the intelligence that we have to not only catch up, but to really make our dent in this process as everybody else has. And I'm going to say this at the beginning of my program here, because people hear me talking about us as citizens. And when I say citizens, I'm talking about all of us. Here, I'm talking about white, black. Just because we start putting black mayors in office, we are the majority on the city council, don't mean that white folks were supposed to suffer. When you make the city better, you make the city better for everybody. That's what it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, there are those who feel, particularly to those racist-minded white folks, they don't think that's possible. You know why they don't think that's possible? Is because, for the most part, they do understand how hard they made it here in America for us as African Americans. They understand it, and they know what we've had to go through. And they think that all that's on our mind is revenge against them. They can't get past that. Some of us have developed and matured and grown intellectually beyond that. So that we know that when we make Jackson better, it's better for everybody. When our streets are drivable, everybody drives on the street. When our schools are A-rated, then all the students, all the children benefit. That's the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. See, we don't want to limit ourselves with that old mindset that they've tried to put on there because everybody afraid of everybody else. And they mean it. Their racist mentality. We got to keep America white. You know, when they first formed America, you think about it, there were 13 colonies. And the majority of people in this continent and in this world were non-white. You had the Indians, then they were bringing Africans over here in numbers way greater than the numbers that they were coming here. So when it started out, it wasn't majority white. When you really look at the fact of it. But here we are now in a very unique situation in Mississippi. That we're almost 40% of the population. And probably if we really answered the census the way most of us are so paranoid about government agencies, we don't respond to them. But if we really answered the census the way they should be, we'd probably find out that we're greater than 40% of the population. But we got, as I was saying on the show last week, 23 counties in America, in Mississippi, 23 counties in Mississippi that are over 70% Black, over 70% African American, 23 counties. And 33 or 35 counties, that's over 40% Black in Mississippi. So when they start trying to redraw lines, it's going to be apparent and very obvious that what they're trying to do is draw some squiggly something unrecognizable district just to keep the Black vote at a disadvantage. So if they're saying we don't want to draw the lines on a racial basis, then why are you redrawing them? What's the purpose? And once they realize that we understand what voting power is, you won't have the governor making fun of Black Benny Thompson or any other Black elected official, or Black citizens as a whole, as he did making fun of Jackson. Because we almost 90% Black in Jackson and Hinds County. But they always want to think that we kept so busy that we really don't have to think, we don't have time to think about the impact that we can have on our lives if we realize that politics is local. The people who oversee and spend the bulk of the money that they take out of the dollars that you spend and earn are local. The federal government takes some of it, but it sends it back to the cities and the towns and then to individuals even. Our county don't give no tax rebates. The city don't give any tax rebate. The state, last I've seen, they wasn't giving out any. So the people who are in charge of the bulk of the money that our tax dollars are spending are local. So we need to be very mindful when we put people in office that seem to think that we put them there so that they can get rich. I want to thank you.
There you go.
My brother, station manager. Thank you, brother Jerry. Yeah, with all that squeaking going on, we don't need that.
There you go.
Now, if I could ever get my Facebook page to stay on, I'd be in good shape. But we're gonna see what happens there. But it always goes off, see, just like it just did. However, to stay on topic, you know, we got to realize what we have here in Mississippi. let alone in Jackson, let alone in Hinds County, both of which are nearing 90% African Americans in the population. Now, I keep talking about, when people were talking about our future. Common sense would tell anybody our future are our children. That's just common sense. Which means that we should have an A-rated school district. There's no excuse. I was just looking at the budget. I was just looking at the budget for the University of Mississippi State, but it's somewhere $577 million this year. $577 million with 28,000 students. 28,000. Would anybody say that Mississippi State is a C-rated university? Would anybody say that? Now, why am I saying that? Why are you saying that, Shamsuddin? Because we got a school district here in Jackson with a budget of $434 million and less than 17,000 students, and a C-rated district. And the only reason they're getting away with that is because they think we ain't watching. As I've said, the budget for the last fiscal year for the city of Jackson was $323 million, with a population of over 150,000 citizens. And out of their budget, they got to run the fire department, the police department, the city works, the court system, and everything else. $100 million less than the budget for Jackson Public Schools. And see, when I talk like this, sometimes people say, well, you talk like you don't like that superintendent. I don't even know the guy, to tell the truth. I've never met him. I can just see what he's doing to our school and our children and the school board letting him. Now, let's just put facts where it is. Closing schools. Do you realize we had 14 schools up and running? That every school have about 80 employees? How much money that will be putting into the tax base for the city of Jackson? People talk about our children and our youth. The census say we got 38,000 children in Jackson. 38,000, that's according to the census. 38,000 children between the age of 5 and 18 in the city of Jackson. Jackson Public Schools have less than 17,000 students. Where are the rest of the children? Are we to think that all those other children are in charter school? I heard the two speakers just before me talking about the pipeline from the school to the prison. Here we are, 38%, almost 40% of the population, and 68% of the prison population. I'm talking about black folks now. I ain't talking about the number of prisons, I'm talking about black folks. We have to understand how important it is for us to put the right people in office over our money and the right people that's gonna make the right decisions for this city. They talk about gang problem, like we don't even have a gang problem in Jackson. And for anybody who's familiar with it, you know what fuels gangs? The drug trafficking, the drug industry. Our children on the street selling drugs, killing one another for territory. That's the fact. And now for the last almost 30 years, our police department has been dwindling. And when is the last time anybody heard of JPD making a drug bust? Think about it. When the last time you heard that JPD made a major drug bust? Here, Jackson is the hub of the South. You got to come through Jackson. If you're going east or west, you're going to Atlanta, you're going to go through Jackson. You're going to Dallas, you're going to come through Jackson. You're going to Memphis, you're going to go through Jackson. You're going to New Orleans, you're going to go through Jackson. We the hub. And you tell me ain't no drugs coming through here? And who out on the street selling them? Our children that's not in school. With $434 million. I tried to call in to Brent Hazard's show earlier today. I was listening to his show. I like the guy. Brent's a cool guy to me. I'll say that. He's a cool guy to me. He made one statement, though, that I want that just ruffled me. He said, we stupid. Now, I think he was talking about Jackson as a whole. I want to give him that. But I say to us, we got to show the world, we as black people, we're not stupid. We're not dumb. We've been uninformed and misinformed. And that's just it. We don't learn about nothing until it's over and done with. And it's too late. And give you an example of that, when the mayor just recently said that they discovered that the city is $23 million in debt. They discovered that the city is $23 million in debt. You got 7 people sitting over there representing 7 wards. Each one of them has a responsibility to determine and know what is happening with the budget for the city of Jackson. It has to go through them. How would they not know unless they weren't doing their job? And why should they stay there if they're not doing their job? See, this is not about it. It's not about getting personal with anybody. But for those who work and see the tax money coming out of our pay, this is serious. And I'm saying to you, you're a taxpayer if you're spending money, whether you're working or not. If you're spending money, you're a taxpayer. So the effort is, yes, we need to register. We need to vote. And stop giving people chance after chance when they showing us they're not there to help the citizens as a whole. See, all of them, when they campaign and we didn't do, I didn't do it, then we can look around and say, wait, what was that you did? None of them running for office say, I don't know what to do. None of them going to say that till they get in office. Then the problem is beyond them. But as I'm saying now, how you got 7 members over there in charge of the budget and not know that the city was $23 million in debt? 7 people ain't doing their job. I had Solly Norwood, Senator Solly Norwood on the program, who sat right here in this studio and said, put out there on the air, we have hundreds of thousands of dollars that has been allocated to the city of Jackson. I said, what you do? And then he said, yeah, and the reason Jackson hadn't got it is because Jackson hadn't done an audit. We don't know what they're doing with the money. For 3 years, we haven't gotten an audit. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that the legislature have earmarked to come to Jackson for different programs, agencies, and whatever. And Jackson can't get it because the administrative office over there for the past 4 years haven't seen it necessary to put an accounting of what they spend our money on. So when you call in and I know you hear me. I said this is a call-in show, not a gossip show. That's my sister Addie Green. I'm gonna take it. You on there?
Yes. This is Addie Green.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing? I just said that's my sister Addie Green. Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank the lawyers and the judge for ruling in Mr. Archer's favor.
Yeah, we heard that today, and
Yes, sir.
everybody's wishing him well, and the outcome would be something that he's been fighting for.
That's right. That's right. And we thank the judge and we thank the good Lord for making it happen. But look, I called in to ask about the 16 section land of those schools.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
many schools do we have that is closed that are 16 section land?
You
in
mean
Jackson?
here in Jackson?
Yes, sir.
All the schools are 16 section land, all of them. And
Well,
they closed 14. They were up and running, and I understand that Lake Hyco really is 16 section land that was leased, that the city of Jackson just leased from the school to put a recreation center over there. That's when they had that lake over there.
So they are trying to say that there is no 16 section schools, that the schools they can sell. So I didn't think you could sell 16 section land that was housed by schools.
Well, you're right, Sister Addie. You're right.
And
You're right.
So we need those lawyers or somebody that with the school system to come on and tell us if they stole from schools, then how did they change the law? And who changed?
Right, and you're absolutely right, Sister Addie. See, you're that type of sister who look deeply into things. You know, one of those sisters I appreciate because you be on the money. Now we got to think about this, because ain't nobody saying it. That land over there being 16 section land, the revenue from that land, if they lease it, and that's all they can do, they can't sell it. They lease it to whoever, data center, whoever. That money goes back to the school district. Now, none of us, I'm gonna scale back. What most of us don't understand, once the school district get the money in their budget, the mayor can't tell them what to do with it, nor can the city council tell them what to do with it. That's why I keep saying that $434 million that the school district, Jackson Public Schools, have in their budget, once the city council confirms the budget, they bring it to the city council, say this is our budget, this is what we plan to do. The city council confirms it. They have nothing else to do with it. They cannot. So when they decide whatever they're going to do with that money, if they change their mind, which they have, and they do, the city can't do nothing about it. So for them to be out here talking about this money going to help the city, how is it going to help the city when it's 16 section land and it belongs to the school district? Now you asking what you're saying right there, Sister Addie, should make some people think.
Well, the other question is, those schools are closed and taxpayers' bond money is tied up in there,
right?
and they are abandoned, and somebody goes there and steal the wires and do all kind of trouble to the school.
Damage, yes.
And so it needs to be revisited with somebody legally so that the taxpayers can start to getting reimbursed, or the community needs to be able to do something with those schools. So it needs to be a new development to not just allow those schools, those 17 schools, to be just sitting up. It ought to be something that legislation ought to be able to do about those schools. So we don't need no more abandoned schools with the
don't.
cooks paying them up.
We do not. And Sister Addie, again, that's what I'm saying. You know, I know you're gonna come back through the show one day, but you open people's eyes. And when people like yourself call, there are others out there who call, and they put it out there because unfortunately the people who we put in office won't clearly help people understand, Sister Addie. They don't help people understand what is really happening. So that's what I'm saying. When they're talking about a data center on 16 section land, that land belongs to the school, and the school will get the benefit from it. That's what that means. So why won't they explain that to the people in clear terms so everybody could say, okay, well, this is what's going to happen. How the city of Jackson going to benefit from this? How are we going to benefit? We've been putting people in office who go into these agreements where basically the established white community benefit and a few black people. And you and I know that. I got another call, Sister Addie. Thank you for calling.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Go ahead, call you on there.
Judge, how you doing, Judge?
Yeah, the Sister Addie was just ahead of you, Brother Larry. She just told the people about David Archer's win. So she just went into that. See, you let her get ahead of you, brother.
Yes, but that's okay. Ladies always can go first in my book, always, black women especially. Judge, I called to add to her statement, which the judge did rule today in Supervisor Archie's favor. The election will take place within the next 45 days. We don't know, a day has not been selected, but we are anticipating the 14th of July as the election day, which is a Tuesday. And we invite all 52 registered voters to get out and vote for Supervisor David L. Archie, a man with a plan and a man that understands the people for the people.
And what you saying that, because I listened to Brother Sherry over there, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. We got black folks running for office. They need to come over to WMPR and spend some money. This station is struggling. I mean, unfortunately, I've actually heard some candidates say, I ain't gonna spend no money with that station, but they're spending with the white station, and they're spending elsewhere. Right. But then they want to come on programs here for free. This is the community station. Right. I mean, anybody who wants to say, they mad at one of the others or whoever. This is the community station. This is the community station, and I think that all those candidates out there who say that they community minded, this is a community station.
That's right, Judge. You're exactly right, and he understands that. But what we're talking about here is making sure people understand they need to get out and vote whatever the date is set for the election, which will be within the next 45 days.
Yeah, right on, brother. Right on. You're absolutely right with that, man. And brother, I tell you, Brother Larry, I appreciate when you come on and help people understand the importance of registering to vote, man. We can't downplay that. We can't let this opportunity go that we have here in Mississippi, and that's just it, man. We got to show the rest of the country.
You're right, Judge, and I myself personally, and I want people to understand, I fight for vote rights all the time, every day, all day. Even when I'm asleep, Bill, I fight for vote rights.
I can believe it, brother. I can believe it.
I understand the magnitude and the reasons for voting and the purpose of voting and how important it is to be a part of this democracy and how it is that you can understand, meaning the person that is voting, you can understand where your money is going, your tax dollar, all monies as it relates to governmental money. You can understand that. And that's important, Judge. And we know where our money is going.
It's absolute. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother Larry. I appreciate you calling in, brother. And you're absolutely right.
Again, Judge, we want people to get out and vote for Supervisor David L. Archie because he's a man with a plan. He's for the people. And that's what we got to have. You're exactly right. We got to have people in government that's for the people. Thank you, Judge.
Appreciate you, brother. You know, and I we say wholeheartedly, and I say this. You know, if you want to exit, you want to call yourself a citizen, a full-fledged citizen, then you have a responsibility. That responsibility means you have to take part in your local government. That's a responsibility that comes with the right to vote. Is that, you know, don't mean nothing just to complain and don't try to make any change. You know, that's how the same people go back to the same offices because people complain, but they don't get out and vote. That's how you get rid of them. I mean, if you're not satisfied with anybody that's in a particular position and that position is an elected position, in this society, in a democracy, the way we deal with that is we vote them out of office. Now, out west, out in California and Oregon and Washington State, you know, a person get in office and they're not performing, they can be recalled. They don't even get to finish a full term if they get in there and show that they're not really there for the welfare of the people. But too often we have put people in office who have come up with one scheme after another, how to make money off of contracts and get rich. We need to, just like with Siemens, we didn't need these water meters, didn't need them. That was a chance, some black folks, bless them, got to be millionaires. But what about the rest of us? We're paying for it. People who get water bills for several $1,000s. I've had mail carriers tell me that they taking water bills to abandoned properties. They shouldn't even be getting the mail in the first place. Go ahead, Carly, on there.
Judge, how's it going? Your friend, Pastor Jackson.
Yes, sir, Pastor Jackson. How you doing, brother?
Overworking, underpaid. Judge, let me say to you today, I want to thank you for what you do for the community and what you say. The people don't really know. Before you was a judge, before you got where you are, you have always been humble, simply because you come from a good bowl of cloth. When you raised right,
yes, sir,
you do right.
There you go.
And the Lily Mae Jackson Scholarship Fund, we ask you to come on your show to honor you on next week. Also, you're going to be honored with the Henry Kersey Award. I know personally you and Henry was,
yes, sir,
was very close.
Yes, sir.
And not
yes,
only
sir.
that, you and our good friend that owned the Jackson Advocate.
Yes, sir.
That man was a horse with a tail. He didn't back down.
You put it like it is, Reverend Jackson.
Listen.
You put it like it is,
was one time. I don't know who it was one time down at City Hall. They said the wrong thing to our friend, and I think he slapped somebody down. You remember that?
Yes, sir. That brother has gone on to his rewards. I won't mention his name right now, but yeah.
Yeah. And I love him to death. Also, his lovely wife is doing a great job with the advocate, so forth. We want to come on next Wednesday, if it's okay with you. We don't want to take your show. We don't want to break no laws at the show. We want to come on and present that to you because of what you do.
You know, I appreciate it.
And when you're in charge, you're in charge.
Yes, sir. You know, and I appreciate it too. Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you because we love you. And there are others at that station. We honor Miss Evers on Coffee Conversation, her co-host, not too long ago. We did that because the love that we have for her and her daddy. And
Right.
Wanda Evers is doing a tremendous job as a supervisor. And whoever run against Wanda, I want you to know, brother, you threading in dangerous water. If I were you, I saved you look $30,000 and spend it on Zuzu because you ain't gonna win.
Now.
And I thank God for you. You know, we're not ignorant. We've been misinformed.
That's it.
And I thank you. And I want to thank Sister Green for bringing that question up about that 16th section.
Yes.
A lot of folks don't know Lake Hyco, all that water and stuff from that plant, they got a lot of stuff. That's still dangerous stuff over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I wouldn't drop a banana peel on that thing. No.
Look, Reverend Jackson,
I know,
when you speak, you one of them people out there, anyway, when you speak something, we better listen. Pay it some mind, man. You better pay it some mind.
Now this building, who they talking about building over there in Lake Hyco, right across Northside Drive, a lot of people died of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And folks didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
See, the doctors ain't gonna lose their job by telling you where it comes from and where blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have sense for yourself, my brother.
Yes, sir.
And my sister, if you know what's going on. You got to get with the folks that know.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
I want you to know you're doing a great job.
Appreciate it.
And we'll be there.
Yes, sir.
To
Be looking
honor
for
you, and then we're going to get out of there.
Be looking for you.
We're not going to be long. Listen, if I tell you, you can step on a dime and I'm going to give you 9 cents change. You my friend, Jerry.
Yeah, look, Reverend Jackson, like
Yeah.
you always say, brother, and I'll never forget this. I don't care what anybody say, man. I'll never forget this. You know, when you and I and Shokwe, Lumumba, the father.
Yes, sir. Talking about the Klan?
Yes, sir. And I didn't see
Listen,
no,
a lot of black
listen here.
folks don't believe that.
I'll tell anybody, I didn't see no quaking in your knees, brother. I didn't see none.
No, sir. And right now, if I ain't no shaking in my knee.
Yes,
I
sir.
feel nobody but God. You know. And I want to thank Brother Sherry Jones for the job that he has done for that radio
Yeah, he
station.
works hard, man.
You might not like that man know more about that radio thing.
Say it again, brother.
Any brother I know.
Say it
And he
again.
got it at heart.
Say it again.
And I love him for that.
Yes, sir.
And Sherry, if you listen tonight, you might be in Did It While Did It. Thanks from all of us.
And we
And I'm
appreciate you,
closing on
Reverend
this
Jackson.
note.
We appreciate you, brother.
I'm not over yet. I went to Detroit this week. Left, come back on yesterday. And brother, I met some brothers. I met some folk. I met this and that. I can't tell everything because you can't put it out there.
Mhm.
Next thing you go see, Now, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to.
Every day.
It's not who's right, it's what's right.
Every day.
And you right, and that gentleman that called in the other week, telling you ought to be down there to the brother. when you know who you're talking to
Yes, sir.
and what he done gone through and what I didn't see that brother in the garbage truck with me with all them maggots. I didn't see that.
Yeah, hauling us down into the fairgrounds and whatnot, man.
Listen, I didn't see him.
Yes, sir.
And he don't even know how we feel at the fairground up. He don't know nothing about that. If you don't love the folks, you're going to betray them.
There you go. There you go.
He sees but a few knows and a lot of stars and a very few goes. And all eyes is closed is never not sleep.
Now,
We've been misinformed, Jerry, but we ain't crazy.
we're going to beat
And
that.
we got something for y'all.
We're going to beat
All
that.
you fellas that been there 30 and 40 years, think you done got away. You might done got by, but you ain't got away.
They better listen to you. They better listen to you. I got to go to some other calls,
I'm
Reverend
gonna
Jackson.
say, well, let me say this, Jerry. If it costs any money, I bring it over there with you on my food stamp card. Go and vote for David Archer in Ward 2, and I am in Ward 2. Thank God for that judge. I've watched him. That lawyer that David Archer got, color don't mean nothing to me.
Right is right.
That's the black next Johnny Carter.
That's right.
If it didn't fit, you must have quit.
Right is right. That's all the time. And that's how we're going to keep
I
it.
got to get that. That white boy afraid. He didn't. He stayed on the target. And they had pictures. Whatever they said, they had something to bag it up. They didn't say, so-and-so did this, and then they said, and then they showed the picture, so-and-so that.
Here's the evidence.
They had the evidence. That's what I like about you, Jerry. I want to plug you now. Anybody need a good black judge? Call him tonight. He'll come see about you right now.
Reverend Jackson.
I know him. Y'all hear me, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Judge, we love you, man. We'll see you win if it's the Lord's will.
I'll be looking for you, Reverend
Go
Jackson.
and vote for David L. Archer.
Appreciate your
You
call,
might not
brother.
like certain things, but listen, he's the real deal. Thank you, Judge.
Appreciate your call,
Love
Reverend
you,
Jackson.
Miss Green.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. You know, like I said, there are those out here that's not going to let things be silent. And I appreciate Sister Addie calling and bringing up that issue because I've been listening, data center and whatever. And then when they start talking about 16 section land, you know, that land don't come under the control of the city of Jackson. It don't. So that's the school board. See that there's a whole lot of diversion, you know, what they said, misdirection. And when we get information, it's always other than what we really being told, actually. But see now that we're becoming more and more aware and there are programs coming on, and I say I appreciate it. Not only this program, there are other programs coming on now that people are trying to help us wake up and be aware. You know, that's why I said my good friend Brent, the brother, I call him a brother, they Jackson is stupid. You know, no. Jackson's almost 90% black, and we're not stupid and we're not dumb. We've been uninformed, we've been ignorant, but we fixing that. I heard the brothers and sisters just before my program talking about people in the movement getting positions, and then all of a sudden they become like the oppressors. We saw that firsthand. We saw it, and we've been victimized by it. You see, so now when we start putting people in these offices, and we might make a mistake, get somebody in there, hey, but that'll be their only turn. That'll be their only turn. I'll get it. Go ahead, Carly, on there.
Good evening, Judge. How you doing?
Good to hear you, sister. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I was calling to see, have you heard from the Combat Kids? David L. Archer.
Yes, they put it out here a few times tonight. Sure have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was calling to tell you to let you know that those folks that's trying to come in and do all these different things in Jackson, bring these data centers and mess with our water, take over control of our water, all that kind of stuff today. They ain't banking on the fact that we paying attention. They don't like that. And
You're
it's
right,
absolutely important that we have shows like yours that come on the air constantly over the weeks, every week. And they're just not paying attention to us. They're mad because we're paying attention to what you all are saying, that we're showing up. And it's important that we show up. And you keep on bringing the facts to it, Judge. You've been doing it for a long time. And the things that you all have been saying is coming to light.
Thank you so much, sister. Appreciate your call here.
Absolutely. Have a good evening.
You too. Are they there? I think I've missed. There's no call. Call back, please, caller. I cut you off accidentally. But I appreciate you when people call in, because I tell you, for every one person to call, there's 10 out there that's thinking like you, or 10 or more. And as the sister just said, they count on us not knowing. That's their biggest weapon. That's been their biggest weapon, that we don't know. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Simpson.
Good evening. How you doing?
All right, so far. I would like to say congratulations to Mr. Archie. Mm-hmm. I also want to say something, Mr. Tuesday used to always say. He used to always say, fight until you hear the bell.
Till you hear the bell, that's right.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. We can't give up. We can't give up. See, we made some mistakes along the line, but I'm going to re-emphasize this. Fact, the white communities had a 200-year head start on us. So we made some mistakes, and we were so happy when we started putting some black faces in these positions. But some of the black faces we put in these positions that already been bought and paid for. Go ahead, call you on there.
Good afternoon, Jerry. This Cab man.
How you doing, Cab?
I'm gonna be brief. You mentioned I'm doing fine, ain't you? I hope you're doing the same.
Yes,
Jerry, you mentioned about the school board controlling the land that some of these data centers are being built on. Now, it doesn't accurate.
Yes, sir.
Then
16 section land is controlled by the school district.
Okay, let me ask you this. You remember back some years ago, they took out a bond issue and charged the citizens of Jackson so much money for that bond issue to support the schools because it was in bad need of repairs, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that was taxpayers' money.
Yes, sir, it
That
was.
Jacksonian money.
Yes, sir, it was.
So then why weren't we notified?
That's the point, Cap. Just like you said every week, and I say too. They just try to keep us from knowing. And that's what I'm saying. And all this talk, nobody's saying 16 section land is school district money. When we took that, once we give the money to the school district, the city of Jackson has no more control over it. Period.
So they billing on 16 section land with some of these data centers now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, the city fathers would have to know this to be a fact, wouldn't it?
They should. Now you have to speak the truth, brother. That's it. They should.
And also the legal department have to know this, right?
Yes, sir.
Would the councilman, would they be?
Each one of your council members should be fully aware of it. Yes, sir. But see, we be putting people down there that don't know what they're doing. They don't even know the roles that they have. Just like I said, Cap, when the mayor came out and said the city of Jackson is $23 million in debt, and that surprised the city council. But the role and the responsibility of the city council is to manage the city's money. They're in control of it. So how would they not know they're $23 million in debt? Okay,
let me ask you this then. So these people know this. So how much money has changed hands with this 16 section land? How can they sell it?
They can't sell it. They can lease it. See,
So how
what,
much we,
a lot of, if you might have experienced this situation yourself. A lot of our older people who were farming and a great granddaddy or granddaddy died, and the children thought they were going to inherit this land, and come to find out that the land was 16 section land. It was leased to granddaddy. Granddaddy didn't own it. He could lease it, but he couldn't buy it. And this
Right.
16 section land, they can't sell it. That's state law. They can't sell it.
so this money for the lease of this land is going directly to the school system, JPS.
Yes, sir. And once they get it, the city has no control over.
So that means JPS will be in pretty good shape, but I'm sure that.
They got $434 million, which is $100 million more than the whole city of Jackson's budget, and less than 17,000 students, and then C rated. And then just gave the superintendent a $50,000 raise, and he was already making $230,000 a year.
Well, see that the money gonna go that way, then it's not gonna help the students.
Then you got it right. Thank you for your call, Brother Cal.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And that's it. That's what they've intended for us to be, is ignorant. They can call us stupid because they know we don't know, but it ain't stupidity. Once you know better, you do better. That's how the saying goes. Once you know better, they just don't want us to know. That's why I'm saying you got 7 members down there on the city council and surprised that the city was $23 million in debt, and their responsibility is to manage the money, to tell the mayor how much he can spend and what he can spend it for on. And then they surprised. So what does that mean? They're not doing their job. I mean, it is what it is. Probably gonna be my last call here. Go ahead, call you on there.
Mr. Sampson,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
You said, I know, I'm like you, I know you can't sell 16 section land. That's why I was wondering about when the preacher was talking about he was going to buy Wingfield over there.
Right.
Did he buy or what?
Well, see, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. I'm telling you, thank you. See, because that's how they keep trying to fool us, man. You can't buy 16 section land. You can't buy it. But see, what they're doing, they closing the schools and then they renting them out to charter schools and making us think that they done bought this property. They haven't. They haven't.
I got you now. They renting it out. I know the case about it. That's why when they were saying it on there, the TV, I was like, man, I can't understand this. I ain't never know you could buy 16 section land. It's leased land.
Well, they do anything when they think we don't know any better. That's how they do it. You know that,
Well,
brother.
you know, it's a whole lot of us do. So, you know, you saying it on the TV right now. I'm on the radio right now. So,
Yes, sir.
there's a bunch of us know.
Yes, sir. And it's gonna change. That's what's gonna make things change, brother. I appreciate the call, man. That's what I'm saying. When you call in, people hear you. You know, we're tired of being fooled. And they only fooled us because, you know, we didn't have any power. We were scared of getting fired, scared of getting lynched, scared of getting beat up, losing the job or whatever. We ain't got to do all that. Nobody go out and march, sit in and get beat or nothing like that. We said register to vote and put people in these positions that understand what we went through to have a decent life and our children to be educated properly. Put people that understand we didn't put them there just so that them and their friends can get rich. And that's what the most of them have been operating under like that. Going into contracts and doing, but where we won't benefit from it at all. Just like the brother just called in about this 16 section land. They keep depending on we don't know any better. I said, hallelujah. I'm glad when I hear y'all calling in like this, keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. And others out there hear you and they thinking just like. So let's get together, let's register and let's vote. And if anybody there that ain't doing what's to the benefit of the citizens, get rid of it. I'm down to the end.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be here next week. As they say, the creek don't rise. I will be here. And I appreciate your calls. I love all y'all. and let's keep right on moving forward. Appreciate you.